So, I was going through my placement matches just yesterday when I learned a very valuable lesson about Riven. Let me begin by relating some history and some facts. I'm not the greatest player. Just in the preseason, I finally climbed out of Platinum 1 after a tad more than 100 games of the grueling +5, +4, and +0 routine. Once in Diamond, I rushed through Division 5, but lost my first series of all time, and ended up going up after the third. I closed the preseason at Diamond 4 with a very high MMR. At this point, I'm in my placement matches. The game before this, I played with High Gosu, ManCloud, and Best Riven NA. I was in Silver 4 at the start of Season 3, and that was the first time I'd played ranked. So why do I relate this information? Suffice to say, I'm inexperienced. Heck, the Riven in this match, she's got 820 ranked games with her. For me, this is uncharted territory, and it means that I'm going to learn a lot. So what did I learn? In particular, that Riven mains tend to be suicidally aggressive to the point where every move they make is an advancement. This is contrary to most matchups, as they generally tend to shy away instead of running towards Urgot. See, as Urgot, you have to take this into account, more than most champions, because where you aim your Noxian Corrosive Charge at the start of the trade will greatly determine the outcome. It is this misjudgment of character which leads me to lose trades, or rather, to die, and to die again. And potentially... Oh wait, I'm Urgot. Good thing. I was worried there for a moment. Believe it or not, Urgot can fairly easily recover from a deficit because of the high base values of his abilities and the lockdown utility which comes with them. So let's take a look back for a moment. Here I managed to outtrade Riven substantially. With the pumping adrenaline, I accidentally missed a couple creeps, yada yada. But then I proceed to make a grave mistake. As you'll see, had I aimed directly in front of myself, she would have exited the rift with me. But I die because I treat Riven as any self-preserving champion instead of a blood-hungry killer rabbit. So let's skip about a little bit, shall we? I deposited Corrosive Charge at where anyone but Riven would probably be. Hyperkinetic Position Reverser had just come off cooldown. If I had dropped my Noxian Corrosive Charge directly in front of me, she would have taken 3 Acid Hunters with a massive armor debuff. If any bit of her remained, I would have ulted her and finished the job. That was an assured kill. But instead, ladies and gentlemen, this happens. Watch and see. She ults, I do as well. Lee Sin hits his Q, that's great. Unfortunately, Lee is bursted. Now just follow this fight. It's pretty close, one-on-one. And then I miss an Acid Hunter. And that just spells certain doom for me. Look at how much health he gets away with. Yep. That one Acid Hunter would have changed the fight. So it's already been well established that this Riven is incredibly aggressive. Urgot punishes over-aggressive fools at this point better than anyone else, not only by swapping them directly into 3 turret shots and raining Hellfire, but also by setting up pernicious ganks. I lead with my Noxian Corrosive Charge, but she dodges it. Because Lee is highly immobile, I go for the early swap to save my own skin and to buy time for Lee to get in place. She jumps over the wall, but our Lee is crafty. With both our movement speed debuffs, there is nowhere she can go, and so she loses her life. It is at this point that I must make a major decision. Note their team composition. All of them are fairly squishy. Do I purchase tank items a la Randuin's Omen or Banshee's Veil in order to last longer, or AD to kill them faster? Keep in mind the AP Teemo and his shrooms. Full AD would provide no defenses against these. But alas, I build AD. In this game, it proved to be the correct choice. Here I see that Riven is attempting a gank at mid lane. As much as I don't like that happening, I also don't want to get caught out. so I checked the bushes with acid hunters. First is a misplay. I should have led with Terror Capacitor to slow her down and avoid her attacks. As it stands, I did not proc the slow before she destroyed the shield. To preserve my life, I flash away, almost running headfirst into a mushroom. I then retaliate. I ult directly before she can auto-attack me after burning through her shield, then proc my own shield after my ultimate slow runs out, to keep her flailing around as Lee Sin comes to my aid.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Afterwards, I head on over back to lane to pick up some extra gold. This, however, is a greedy mistake as Shaco's in the area, and with my low health, I cannot fight him. Skipping ahead again, I'd like to point out Teemo's and Shaco's scores. Pretty good. They both decide to work to take down the top lane turret, but I have other plans. I lead with a charge on both of them, fire 2 shots, and because I have 40% CDR due to blue buff, I can still pull off 2 more after ulting Teemo with Lee Sin close behind. After targeting the Shaco with the red buff, he too kicks the bucket. My first impulse is to recall and come back with home guards. But I soon see Riven and pop Ghost to get there in time if things go badly. With 3 dead, Rise and I decide to push down the mid lane, picking up a free objective. Soon after, Shackle and Riven look to pick up a kill on Lee Sin, but in part because I built for damage, we make quick work of Riven. I used Hyperkinetic Position Reverser to be sure of her demise. Now we're coming up to an incredibly important fight. Riven has a lot of potential here, but she's waiting for an engage from her team, so she and Teemo can pull a pincer movement and tear us apart. I don't want this to happen, so before she can do anything, I take her down to 50%, pop my Hyperkinetic Position Reverser, and take her out of the picture. Vayne sees a potential opportunity and tries to pull a great play, but unfortunately for her, Rise and I far outdamage her. I don't make it out alive, but my death is worthwhile. The rest is a game of Blitzkrieg. My team ends up finding some great picks, and I come barreling through. To ensure Draven's safety, I pop my Hyperkinetic Position Reverser on Shaco. These kills lead to an incredibly easy push down mid lane, getting 2 towers and an inhibitor. We then look to go for the top lane turret, but Thresh has an idea, and lies in wait for unsuspecting prey. After getting the turret, he pulls another on Riven. I then alter to completely shut her down, and to accumulate for myself the tank stats. I then pop Ghost to lead the attack on Teemo and Shaco. I knew I would die there. Maybe it was the right choice, maybe it was the wrong one. Anyhow, from here we were just finishing up. Let's head on over to the final fight. First, they begin by looking to me for a pick. With my team heading towards me, I initiate by ulting Riven yet again. The battle ends just as quickly as it began. And that's game. So what did we learn? In summary, Riven is a suicidal maniac whose primary function is to go postal. Aim directly in front of you when her skills are off cooldown. Additionally, this may be one of the few matchups in which you may want to take Barrier or Ignite. In the early game, start with Terror Capacitor to win trades. Do everything in your power to hit all of your abilities. They all add up. There could have been another dead Teemo in the Rift. That's an opportunity lost forever. Don't be greedy. Yes, I'm certain those minions would look nicely in your cellar and collect a considerable ransom. Perhaps you could use the pure gold all champions so obsessively demand to purchase a nice home in Beverly Hills. You've just got to take into account the peepers who will take you by surprise and probably destroy you. Finally, if you don't shut her down in lane, shut her down for the rest of the game. Riven is a real threat who should not see the light of day. The ground fits her well. Be sure she stays there.